Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by the head coach of Northville football. That is Brent Luplow. How's it going, Brent?
Going good, Casey. Thanks for having me.
So I know we talked when all this was announced back in February, but going into now preparing and only about 2 weeks away from the start of camp, how exciting is it to get ready for your first season as a head coach? I know you've brought in a lot of familiar faces that you've worked with in the past, and it's gonna be another big year for Northville.
Yeah, it's been again exciting summer. We just wrapped up today. Today was our last activity of the summer before we go on a little dead week break. Let the kids kind of reset, let the coaches reset when we get back rolling. Again, like you said, in about 10 days. It's been awesome. It's been a really good summer. It's been a huge summer of chemistry building, a huge summer of our coaches getting to know the kids and our kids getting to know the coaches, and the junior and senior class coming together. As you know, as people know, we have a pretty solid senior class. The quicker though that junior class gels with the senior class and some of the sophomores that we're bringing, the better things will be for us. So, it's been fun. We went to team camp for the first time about a week ago in Bluffton, Ohio, and had a riot. Had a lot of fun and grew closer as a team and practiced hard, and we're getting ready to go. But I'm excited. We're ready to put the pads on and start rolling here in a few days.
Yeah, I know some of this. I know putting a staff together was probably one of the biggest challenges. And now, since we talked last, you have put a pretty solid staff together, and obviously a few names that you've worked with in the past throughout your years of coaching. What was it like putting that together? And some familiar faces to me are on there.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a interesting but really good experience. Thankfully, a lot of the Northville coaches from Coach Laddick's regime reached out and wanted to interview and potentially come back to the team. So I wasn't in the program. I wasn't forced to really do a ton of reaching out to random people. It was a lot of familiar faces there, and also people that I knew through my experiences at Brighton, and people that I knew through just my football journey in general. So we put together a really solid staff, all three levels. We've had really good numbers, and we'll talk about that in a second. But our coaching staff is, again, all three new coordinators. I'll call the offense. We brought in Coach Matt Sexton, to run the defense. And then we brought in a guy named Alex Faust who kicked collegiately, and his dad coached against my dad back when we were growing up. So we had a acquaintance connection, and I reached out to him, and he's local, and he's going to run the special team. So three new coordinators at the varsity level and the program wide. So three new schemes, trying to keep our defenses as close to what it was last year as possible. So we kept, we're probably about half new coaches and half old coaches to the program. Some good experience. We've got a few old head coaches on the staff. My dad's joining us on the staff, which will be a lot of fun. And he's someone that's coached a lot of games and a huge mentor to me. Coach Schumacher, who was the old head coach here back in the day, he's back. And offensively, a few faces from Brighton. Offensive line coach Ed Dreslinski's, or the former offensive line coach Ed Dreslinski has joined us. So just some familiarity on the offensive side of the ball, that know what I want to do and how I want to do it. Defensively, we thought we were pretty good last year. We want to keep that together and that tight-knit group together. So just cleaning up some schemes, cleaning up some small things, but we're really happy with where we're at. We're really happy with the type of people that are leading our program and the young men in our program, and we feel really thankful for these guys dedicating their time to Northville football.
Yeah, let's talk about some of those guys, some of the returners that you have coming back.
Yeah, so 15 returning starters. We've got our running back, Caleb Moore. He's back. Has had a pretty good summer. He's about 15, 20 pounds heavier than he was last year. He's been working really hard. Also offensively, Caden Besco returns, H-back tight ends. Receiver Nick Hellner returns. Colin Charles returns. So I feel really comfortable with our receiving core out there amongst other guys, but those are our two leaders at the receiver position. Up front, we returned Graham Gilmartin, two-way starter. Robbie Shuckle, a two-way starter. We return. Let me think. Those are our top two returners up front. In the defensive side of the ball, we've got Hassan Elzayat up front and defensive line. We've got Owen Ross in the middle, Cooper Hoffman in the middle, Cullen Murphy on the back half at safety, Sonny Rentz at safety, Drew Rankin at corner. So we got pieces. Evan Dika, outside linebacker, is a big one. He's been a great leader for us and is going to be a great leader for us this year. And some other guys that, played meaningful, had some big contributions last year that didn't necessarily start, who will be back as well. Cole Atanasio, the junior, Isaac Pace, our quarterback, played a little bit last year. So we've got pieces, and we've got guys that have experienced big games and big situations, and we're really excited for those guys to step up.
Yeah. Well, when you went to Northville, obviously the teams that you're playing didn't change because obviously, you're obviously being at Brighton so many years, you are familiar with the conference, the division, and I'll just run through this real quick. Of course, starting it off, no better place to start off your coaching career, your head coaching career at the Battle of the Big House in Ann Arbor with Clarkston. So they'll, of course, part of that, the Battle of the Big House that first week. And then, of course, first home game for you will be home against Plymouth on the 31st. I'll just run through this real quick. Of course, September 8th, your return to Brighton on week 3. September 15th, home against Canton. September 22nd at Howell. September 29th, home against Salem. October 6th, home against Heartland. October 13th at Novi, and then of course the crossover game, which will be away for all the KLAA West teams. So a schedule that you're used to. Of course, those first few weeks, of course, it's going to be fun. Of course, going to the Big House and playing a really, really tough Clarkston team.
Yeah, I'm glad it's official. We're there. The kids are excited. We're excited. The familiarity. I've been coached there twice, so I kind of know how that day looks and how that's going to go. But yeah, there's no better place to open a coaching career. There's no better place for our kids to open the year against a really good football team. Clarkston historically has been really good. Last year's semifinalist team. They're always going to be a tough test. So we're gearing up for that. It's exciting. Our community is excited. Our players are excited. Our school is excited. So we're ready for that, or getting ready for that. It's coming very quickly. And then the schedule, obviously, familiar with the KLA West and how that's going to go. It's a lot of new coaching staffs, a lot of new unknowns of what teams are going to be doing. What even some of the teams that have had some continuity and some coaching staffs that have stayed around, still they might change it up a little bit. We don't know exactly what everybody's going to be doing, but it's always a test, always a battle. It doesn't matter how good that team is. They always have one or two guys that are the real deal. So we got to come ready to play every week and bring our A game, because we can't win football games if it's not our A game. But I'm excited, especially to go back to Brighton and see everybody. That's the first week of school. I've talked about that for a while with some of the guys I'm close with at Brighton and the students, the staff, and all that. So that'll be exciting. That'll be emotional. But yeah, we're excited. The kids are excited. We want to play somebody else, and Saginaw Heritage Scrimmage is where we're circling right away, and we'll see how we are after that. But looking forward.
Yeah, of course, that of course starts it off with that practice on the 7th, and then Saginaw Heritage. Of course, if you watch this channel, Coach Thielen was on here not too long ago, and obviously I know you two go back to your days at Alma. But what's that like to see, to put that scrimmage together, because you guys are both head coaches now?
Yeah, really cool. Again, like you said, and on the interview he was on here, we met the first day of football practice freshman year at Alma College, both quarterbacks, both pretty good high school programs, and we were like twins. Basically, we did all in all in on football. We had a lot of similarities, stood up each other's weddings, like you said. Really cool, really awesome that we could put that together pretty quickly and be able to trust each other and see eye to eye with, talk about anything football related or non-football related with each other, just some sounding board to ask questions to. And he has had some really good experiences and a lot of things that I didn't even realize I would have questions about. I've gone to him over the past few months, and just a great friend, great person, great leader of a program, and excited to battle them and play. And they're a very good football team, and it's going to be a great test. They would do well in our league if they came over here, and couldn't ask for a better one scrimmage to open the year with.
Yeah. So going into going into this season, what do you feel like you need to do? What do you want to see out of your team before you head to that Battle of the Big House game on the 25th against Clarkston?
Yeah, definitely team chemistry. And I think we did well with that at Bluffton University. We left a whole lot more close and tight knit than we did when we got there. So that's huge. They need to be able to trust us as new coaches and new people that are asking them to do certain things that maybe they aren't comfortable with. So that was huge. Just, getting to know us as coaches, getting to know each other as people, not just football players, not just teammates, but the family type atmosphere has to be built. And I think we're doing a really good job of getting to that level. I've told some people this, like we want to be known as a championship football level program. We don't want to just play football. We want to compete at a high level. And our numbers are really good to do that. We're 55 varsity kids right now, 55 JV players, and 50 freshmen. So our numbers are on the upward trajectory. We're forecasting 80 to 100 kids on varsity in the next few years. So that's really good because there's power in numbers, and a school this size should be rolling out teams that large. So we're happy. There's excitement. There's energy. There's people that are maybe haven't played football in a few years that are coming back and giving it a try. But yeah, we have huge goals. The KLA West is certainly attainable, and that's our top one. We want to win that division. We want to win a first district championship in 23 years. That's a huge one for the kids, and they've had that kind of bullseye circle, that district championship trophy, that wooden mitten. That's in the back of their minds for sure. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. I know that, the kids know that. We talked about it a lot. Want to know every week, and they'll take care of itself. So we're excited for Clarkston.
Yeah. All right. Well, Brent Luplow, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck to the Mustangs this season. We will talk to you in a few weeks when camp starts.
Thank you, Casey. Have a good one. See you soon.